You're in this TikTok, CC Clock that centers chatter?
People claiming that they're moderate when they're obviously right-wing. Okay. I've never encountered another human being that's been like, oh, I'm a centrist or I'm a moderate. And then lo and behold, it's a big secret, but they were actually liberal.
I'm bringing it back to what I said in this video. Conservatives, alt-right, chuds, losers, all of those people know what they believe is deeply unpopular and deeply unsettling to most of the population. But they have to hide it. They have to keep it from other people. They need to obscure your understanding of their beliefs in order to still be accepted within popular society. Because they know once they have been outcast, there is only one place left to go, and that is basically pandering to one group of people. You can no longer have any type of creative pursuit, or in the, more popular sphere of the world, any type of dating pursuit once people understand
this guy's a One Piece anime critiquer. He's dope.
You are a chud conservative who believes that women shouldn't be able to vote, or we should kick all immigrants out of the country, or we should have an ethno state. Once your views are found out, once they are understood, you can no longer run away. And Hassan is 1,000% right in that video. No liberal, no leftist hides their views.
Yeah.
Nobody says, I'm a centrist, or I'm a moderate, or I'm...
As a matter of fact, I go so far as to say some leftists can't shut the fuck up about their views. I'll take it one step further, okay? Like Maoist third worldists or anarchists or Marxist Leninists, Trotskyists, like they cannot consistently needle in their marginal ideological delineations with regular frequency. It's obnoxious. I wish that leftists would maybe shut the fuck up sometimes, okay? But they never do. They are endlessly open about their worldview, down to the wire, and they will make it your problem if you don't fully subscribe to it. That's how it is. I am a centrist of the socialist variety, okay? That's the kind of centrist I am. I'm a big tent, left-wing kind of guy. I'm a big tent anti-capitalist, big tent centrist on the left.
Not political. When you have a deeply held belief that all people deserve a right to a decent life. Because that is nothing to be ashamed of, but by being a chud or being a conservative...
This is how right-wingers talk about you? Yeah, except I don't really hide my perspectives at all. That's why it's so funny when every time like someone to my right, doesn't mean that they're like a far right figure or whatever, tries to make a YouTube video about my perspective, they will always use clips from my stream or clips from like the fucking podcast that I'm on or something where I'm openly revealing like, I don't immediately go fucking hard dick mode when I'm talking to someone about, my worldview. That doesn't mean that I'm like sheltering people from my perspective at all, but I just talk to people in the language that they understand. Ethan Klein is who I'm talking about, of course. The one that went, the one where he was like, oh, we caught him. We caught his like true ambitions, which is to slowly but surely, radicalize the population. It's like, no, that's not that's not hidden. Like I say it all the time. Yes, I want to make people more class conscious. It's not trickery if I say it with my chest all the fucking time. You groom that 40-year-old man, into socialism. Maybe Hassan was right. Something positive for once. Recently seen on the Destiny subreddit. Maybe Hassan was right all along, and America is bad. Found on a thread about the Venezuelan illegal act of war. I know they're being cute, but many of them will realize one day Hassan has been more consistent than any centrist liberal ever has been. One day. But yeah, true. Dead Palestinian children won't move them, but an occupation in Greenland will. It is what it is. Easier to pin the ladder on being a uniquely project of Trump, which the Democrats say is bad. That's most of the moral clarity they'll need to figure out whether they support something. They cared about the wall until they didn't. Hopefully AOC's tear ducts have healed themselves. One of the best things about being left-leaning is that it reduces your hypocrisy levels by at least 98%. The thing is, because it reduces your hypocrisy levels, they will find a way to make it look inconsistent. Stop reading Reddit. It's my Reddit. Chatter, shut the fuck up. I'm reading. This is a positive Reddit thread. I guess we're too late now since Epstein's community finally recognized reality. I don't think they fully will recognize reality because there are a lot of people who have just completely dropped all notion of like a broader policy perspective at all, and they just only run on hate. They only run on hating content creators that he has identified as like enemies of him.
That poor people should just die in the streets. Of course you have to fucking hide it. And like I said, when it comes to dating, it is so explicitly unpopular. And for some reason, conservative men are obsessed with liberal and alt women. They have to hide it. I promise you, go on Twitter. Anytime that people start bringing up moderates or centrists on any dating app that you can possibly find, they are always the same. They are always conservatives, alt-right, chuds, losers. And it's so patently obvious to see. Like, there's no hiding it. There's no obfuscating it. The second that any actual conversation comes up about your values, it comes bleeding out of people. And what's even funnier is the people who hold these kinds of beliefs will come into my comments and say things.
I don't expect the leftists to know this, but Ben Shapiro, Riley Gaines, and Steven Crowder are moderates.
Things like Ben Shapiro, Riley Gaines, and Steven Crowder are the moderates. The level of self-reporting going on is fucking bananas. So you believe we should have some kind of ethno-state? You believe people of color shouldn't be pilots? You believe...
If you actually believe there is a political spectrum, can you give an example of a true centrist? Not really, because I don't fully subscribe to the political spectrum. I don't think it's like that at all. Especially not like that in America as well, where there is no ideological investment, and there's no consistency in people's worldview. Centrism isn't really a position. It's just, it constantly moves. As society becomes more progressive, the center moves to, technically, the center is supposed to move to the left. An example I can give you is like the generation that is alive now, like Gen Z is infinitely more pro-gay, right, than the generations prior to it, right? Millennials and Gen Z are far more pro-gay. They might be anti-trans, but they're far more pro-gay, right? They are super, super pro-gay in comparison to boomers are. Let's be real. Come on, guys. It's just not. And on that front, the reason why they are pro, not across the board, like across the spectrum, but like pro-gay, is because it's become normal. It was always normal, but it's become normalized. It's legal. The culture, there's no like right-wing cultural force that's trying to tackle existence of gay people that has reached any sort of serious like it hasn't reached any sort of like serious popularity, right? So that's what it is. So I guess like in that regard, a centrist in this day and age will probably still have pro-gay positions, whereas a quote-unquote centrist 40 years ago would not be pro-gay. Okay? You understand? You're either pro-queer or not. If you're not pro-trans, you're not pro-gay. You're just fixated on trans people for the present moment. I agree, but it is come on, chatter. People who are pro-gay weren't fucking pro-trans back then either, okay? What view is too left-wing for your liking? I don't know. I can't think of anything right now.
All of the insane stuff, like women shouldn't be allowed to vote anymore. The Civil Rights Act should be repealed. You should only have a say if you're a
Veganism.